Welcome to another edition of Recruit Nation Sports with Coach Ant and Coach Creek. Coach Creek will be in a minute. This is Coach Ant. Today we are with Dalton Griffith, quarterback of the Luray, Virginia. Is that Panthers? Am I correct?
No,
No, what is it?
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. Luray, Virginia Bulldogs. I'll forgive me, all everybody down in Luray, VA. I don't want to. I don't want to get I don't want to get beat up for in the wrong school. But the Bulldogs, we are with the quarterback Dalton Griffith. We are very excited to have him. He was one of our Dream All-Americans, and he was the inaugural MVP of our Dream All-American game. We had a really good game that day, and he just was a pretty impressive prospect overall. He is actually signed to go with the Frostburg to play at Frostburg State, and he's going to be one of their quarterbacks. Dalton is what, about 6'4", 225 pounds. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so he's a big guy. He's got an NFL body already. He's got a really good arm. He's got a good NFL arm. So let's just get into it really quickly, Dalton. Let's talk about a little bit about your story, stuff like that. Where you're from, how long you've been playing football and sports in general, and what other sports do you play? So just tell us about that.
Well, from Rivalry, Virginia. I've been playing football since I was 4 years old. Quarterback since I was 4 years old. It was about a half a season off. They thought I'd be a better running back than I would be quarterback, but that got taken care of within a 4-point losing game going into the half. So that got taken care of. So I got moved back to quarterback when I was about 8 years old. Baseball I've been playing. I also play baseball. I've been playing that since I was 4 years old as well. And I've been playing basketball since I was 8 or 9. So I'm a multi-sport player. Basketball wasn't one of my biggest sports. I thought it'd be, fun to play, get in shape.
Yeah.
Just stay in shape. And once I got to high school, I started liking it just a little bit more. I started learning the game a little bit better and understanding it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's I still don't like running that much either. I also didn't, I wasn't the best 3-point shooter either. You think the quarterback would probably be the best aiming shooter on the team? No, I probably went 1 for 5 in my career for threes.
Sometimes the quarterbacks are post guys, are the best post guys. I
was a post guy. Yeah, if you needed a rebound or you needed someone to go dive after a ball before it went out of bounds to save the game, I was the guy. But 3-point shooter with a buzzer beater, don't call my number.
Hey, those are the intangibles. You play where you're at. You get those hustle plays because those are the quarterback intangibles spilling over onto the hardwood. And I saw that you played basketball. Luray had some good seasons. You're 6'4", 225. So I know the coaches are going to find a spot for you. They're gonna be like, listen, we're gonna put this guy we're gonna get this guy in somewhere and we're gonna make it happen. But so basketball kind of creeped up on you a little bit in terms of you liking it, right?
Yeah, it creeped up. My dad's friend actually came up and said, "Hey, you want your son to play basketball?" And he asked me, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? I'll take a shot at it." And ever since then, I just thought, well, I've already started playing, so if I stop playing, then it basically just says that I quit. And I was like, I don't want to be the one that said I played 1 year of basketball and then quit. So
you just stayed the whole time, right?
But at the end, when I got into 9th and 10th grade, when I started understanding with the coaches and stuff, teaching the game a little bit better and understanding the game a little bit better, it came pretty easy. The pick and rolls. When I was 8 years old or 9 years old, there was people that knew so much more about that than me. I had no idea. I didn't know all this jelly stuff where you go in for a dunk and then you just lay it up. I didn't know none of that.
The question is that I want to ask, can you dunk though?
Oh, I can. I've never done it in a game. I tried it one time in a game and I got it over the rim and it bounced right out. And then that was actually this year. My dad kind of made fun of me. He goes, "Man, if you can't jump like Jordan, don't jump at all." I was like, "Wow." But
Dads have the most jokes, man.
Yeah, you're right.
They got the most jokes. But your mom, like I was telling you before in the interview, your mom is your biggest supporter. Got to give a shout out to Tanya Griffith. She is the number one. She is the number one A supporter, and like she's always in your corner. She's always out there.
Yep.
So we talk about her a little bit and just like how she was. I know she had to be instrumental in your development as an athlete, though, right?
Yeah, a little bit. When I was a little bit, younger, we would go out in the backyard, front yard, whatever, and I would always tell her, "Hey, it's like just throw the ball up anywhere, let me go get it." And she would throw it, I don't even know how big, maybe 50 yards across. Our yard is wide, 53 yards or so. She throw it anywhere, and I just say throw it anywhere, and I'll go and try to pick it off, and I'll take it running back. You try to catch me. Well, she done that for a couple of years, and then she realized I started getting bigger and quicker, and she's like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna throw it up. So I'm not gonna run after you though, because there's no point."
So she's like, "There's no point." She's like, "I can't catch you anymore."
Yeah. There was one point where I was thinking about jumping over her, but she didn't get there fast enough. So. And I was like, "Yeah, well, if I tell everyone that I broke my mom's ankles and I left her ankles laying out in the grass, then they just call me all kinds of names." So I'm like, "Well, maybe it's good for both of
us." Oh man. Hey, man. If you can't learn from your parents, who can you learn from? But hey, she went as far as she could go, and she did what she had to do. But yeah, that's great. But I just want to get into some things about just your journey as an athlete. I know you played. How long were you starting quarterback at Luray? Were you starting quarterback 1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
Through the whole high school career, from JV to varsity, was all 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Varsity was 3 years. I moved up to varsity in my 10th grade year, so I played starting quarterback my sophomore year, and then my junior year, and then my senior year this year.
Okay, so a 3-year starter, man. That's great.
Yeah,
3-year starter. That's great. You gain a lot of experience under in those 3 years, and it definitely showed at the All-American game. With your leadership and your accuracy and your arm strength and stuff like that. You were a very impressive prospect. I was telling coaches down there. I was telling a lot of families and stuff like that. Like any college that got you will be very happy and what they got. So I know Frostburg State is very excited to have you down there. They're very excited to get you in there. And, we're expecting us at Dream, us at Recruit Nation, and I'm sure your coaches at Luray and everybody else who play with you expect you to do really good things at Frostburg State and, be a good representative of your hometown and your high school and, and even us, because you were with us. So, let's talk a little bit about your journey with us. And Coach Dwayne, shout out to Coach Dwayne Clark. Virginia's finest. That is, he's down there. He's doing everything about that. Let's talk about your journey from there. And with him and how you started with Coach Dwayne.
So it was the first showcase. It was in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is 30 to 45 minutes away from where I live. And I went there, and there's Coach Riley was there. He was the big speaker that they had there that day, and Coach Clark was there, and we started. I think it was the 40. Coach Clark watched me. He goes, "What position are you?" He goes, I said quarterback. He goes, "Well, you just ran a 4.59." He goes, "That ain't a quarterback speed. That's like Lamar Jackson speed. That's just so you're calling me a running back, aren't you?" So, yeah, I was like, he's like, "Well, get with me after the showcase." And my friend Evan Atkins, he goes to Spotswood, which was also Coach Clark's. He was a recruiter for Coach Clark. And Evan's mom actually talked to my parents, and they said, "Oh yes, Coach Clark is, really got him out there. He's an awesome guy. He can get him out there." So we took a chance, and we went with Coach Clark, and Coach Clark contacted us. He invited me to, to his where he coached. He invited me to Winchester, which is about an hour or so, hour and 15 minutes away from where I live too.
Mm-hmm.
I went up there and, helped him coach. I was the guest speaker for his football team. Also, then after that, the Harrisonburg showcase, then it was the regional showcase. And Coach Clark said, well, we're going to try to skip. If we can, we're going to try to skip these other showcases because I think that your talent does not have to be showcased anymore until you get to the national level. So we went to the regional one, and I didn't, I was like, well, if I don't get invited, then that's fine. I was like, I already got, I proved myself and got out there a little bit. And he contacted me and said, you've been invited to the regional showcase, but you do not have to go because you can go up to the national one as well. Mm-hmm. And so then Coach Riley texted me and said, you are invited to the national one, but you do not have to go. We'll let you know about the AllAmerican Bowl. Wow. So then we got there, and Coach Riley sent an invitation to the AllAmerican Bowl. And I said, contacted Coach Clark, and he's like, well, if you want to go, you can. He goes, I said, well, you've done all this work. I said, I might as well just go anyway. I'm like, I might as well just, go with the other quarterback. And he told me that Dillon Bailey was going, which is, he's the other quarterback from Virginia. And, we're both his clients and stuff. And we went up there. I was like, well, I guess me and Dillon, we're going to be on opposite teams. I said, we'll just put on we'll make the best recruiter out there. And he goes, okay, I like the sound of that. So that's really all that happened. I mean, I went to one showcase, and then I guess Coach Clark done his job and got me up to the highest possible, position I could be at, and that was the AllAmerican Bowl. So
well, he was right. His evaluation was right because when you came there, like I said, you and Dillon were pretty impressive prospects. I saw you guys both in person, and I saw you guys zipping the ball around and throwing it around and looking like great quarterback prospects. So Coach Dwayne, shout out to him. Coach Clark, he did his job there. So let's just talk about your experience at the AllAmerican Bowl, the whole weekend, everything like that. Because I know when I went down there, it was in sunny Gulf Shores, Alabama. It's just a nice resort city on the Gulf of Mexico. I recommend people if you want to go on a vacation, mini vacation, check it out. We were actually there in January, and I was thinking about like in the summertime, it would be a really nice place to be at and stuff like that. And it was just a great weekend. So let's just talk about that weekend in general and your experiences there.
First, it was a long drive. But we got there. The hotels were nice. That was probably the first time in a long time where wherever I went, I really didn't have to wear a mask. So that was a plus. So, it was kind of a back to normal life. Mm. The hotel that we stayed in was nice. Me and Evan was staying in the same hotel. We drove down together. We thought, we're here. Might as well just walk, see what's all there. And we walked down. We walked all the way down to the beach. And there was tons of seafood places.
Oh yeah.
First night, where did we go? It was I don't remember what it was, but you got a seafood platter, and it was big. For my size and for my weight, I felt like I could eat it all. I didn't. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it. It didn't help either that.
Thank you.
That I also ate a little. I ate a little bit before I came, but I was like, I can finish this. I'm like, I can finish it. And deep down, me and Evan were having a competition, like, who could finish first and who could eat the most. Well, Evan's a lineman and I'm a quarterback, so
I know Evan's a big guy. Evan's like 300 pounds, man, and he out here trying to challenge Evan.
Well, I didn't lose too far away though. That's the thing. I did lose, which sucks, but I didn't fall too far behind Evan, so I don't know if I would take that as a compliment or not, because I don't want to be called like, oh wow, you're getting that big, but you're gonna get fat eating all that. I'm like, yeah, but I can run it off too. I'm about to run it off in 3 practices here. And
I saw the small competitions that week, especially when it came down. Like, you guys were competing about everything, man.
Yeah,
competing on the field, competing at the dinner table, competing. You guys were competing everywhere down there, man.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
The recruiting, the day after we got there a day early, and then when it was time for the orientation, we got our pants, our shirts, we signed in, got all of our stuff. And then we had our first practice. And the first practice, I was like, man, I'm a little nervous now. I'm like, all these guys are gonna look at me, and I had my mullet starting to grow. I'm like, they're gonna make fun of my mullet here because I don't see anybody else with the hairdo like I do. I'm like, they're gonna say, what are you trying to prove? And I'm like, so the offense and defense split up. The offense goes into a room. We introduce ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I get up. I'm starting to talk, and I think it was Tay-Tay. Tay-Tay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tay-Tay. I was like one of the last people. He looked at me, and he goes, man, you big. I said, well, thanks, man. He goes, I bet you're not quicker than me, though. So that practice, we got done with our practice, learning a new offense. We went over the offense, doing our signs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Tay-Tay asked, he said, you want to race? I said, yeah, let's go.
Oh, my God.
Again, I lost, but it was only by a couple steps.
Yo, I swear, man, you guys were competing all day. It was funny because I'm sitting in the back and I'm looking and I'm like, yo, these dudes out here running races. They're competing at eating. Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking a little bit of stuff and a little bit of crap. And it was just a good time. Even some of the coaches, man, they were jabbing at each other a little bit. And when they broke off and I went to different sets, they was like, yo, we want to beat them and you want to beat them. But then everybody comes together and hangs out. It was crazy, man.
It was awesome.
It was crazy.
The second day,
competition's what it's all about.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. The second day, we were starting, we were getting used to each other. The offense and defensive plays were coming in. We took that break for that lunch break, and then we came back for our third and final practice. And I told Tay-Tay on one of the plays we ran, I said, just go through the middle. I'm like, he goes, the linebackers are going to be close. I said, just go through the middle. I said, I will fit it through the window. I'm like, just trust me. I said, just go in the middle and settle in the middle. I'll get it to you. He said, okay. He goes, throw a pick. I'm going to yell at you. I said, all right, I'm not going to throw a pick. So he runs through the middle. He settles right down in the middle. And I throw it between maybe a 2-foot gap between the two middle linebackers. And, the whole entire team went crazy. And that's where they ended the offensive session right there. That was a excellent note to get it on. And he goes, well, I know you got moves. You got the arm. He goes, and you're quick. He said, man, you kind of remind me of Brett Favre.
Hey, man, you got that moxie.
And so we went to the banquet. We all sit together. At that point in time when the jersey presentation came, we were all had a bond together. Now we've done ate together one time. We've hung out before. We had practices, and jersey presentation came, and we got our jerseys, and then of course Evan was on the other team, so I waited on Evan. We were gonna go eat afterwards, so I waited on Evan, and so I went in and just watched his jersey presentation.
So wait a minute, I just want to ask a question. How did that feel to get your jersey in front of kids from all over the country and in front of your mom and your dad and your friends and stuff, like some of your friends, the new friends? How did that feel? How was that experience? How did that feel for you?
Well, I don't know what the NFL draft feels like, but that's kind of what watching it on TV. That's what it felt like. Just attached to it. And,
right.
Now I don't know. It's probably a little bit more exciting when you get to the NFL draft. Your more emotions are more higher, but that's what it felt like. They had that little hallway in the back that you walked up and then came out the back. That was exactly how it felt, exactly like the NFL draft. Just getting your jersey. It was
only difference is you got $1 million.
So you're getting your jersey from Coach Lanny and stuff like that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lanny. Were you on Coach Lanny's team? I forgot. Were you on Coach Joe's team or were you on the other team?
I was on Coach McDaniel's team.
Coach McDaniel. Shout out to Coach Nate McDaniel. He was a good guy down there too, man.
Yes.
Coach McDaniel. He was a great guy down there.
Excellent defensive coordinator. Excellent.
Yeah, he knew his stuff, man. There's a lot of guys down there who knew his stuff. Did you actually get to talk to Coach Joe Horn too? Did you get to talk with him at all? Did you have any interaction with him?
Yes, the jersey presentation when I was waiting on Evan, I went and talked to him. I went up to him. I said, "You better hope I don't score, Coach." He goes, "Why is that?" He goes, I said, "If I score, I'm going right on that goalpost and getting that cell phone and dialing it."
What did he say? What did he say?
He brought his 2 middle linebackers over that were, about the same size as me and about 50 more pounds than me. He goes, "Well, first you got to get past these guys." I looked at him. I said, "I'll get past those guys. Just trust me." Well, it happened. I scored.
It did.
I did the cell phone celebration.
I know.
I can tell you one thing. All that whole entire team looked at me, and I thought they were like, "Wow, what? That's so disrespectful." I was like, "Man, I don't want it to be disrespectful. I'm just doing it. I just have fun." And, they were having a good fun, but they're going to be mad because you scored, man. Yeah. So after the game, we met, and he looked up. He goes, "Well, actually, when I threw that pick, and I chased the guy down and tackled him on their sideline, and I'm getting up, and I feel this tug behind in my pads. I'm like, God, someone's gonna try to fight me now just because I done something." And it was Coach Horn. It was Joe Horn, and he looked at me and he was like, "Oh yeah, who's down on the cell phone now?" And I was I said, "The scoreboard, we're up by 10." I'm like, "We're up by 10." I'm like, "Calm down." And he dadded me up and everything. Give me a hug, and we went back. And after the game, we won. I went up to him. I was like, "Now who's down on the cell phone?" I'm like, "We won. We won." He goes, "Man, why you got to do me like that?" I was like, "Okay, I want to settle one thing." I'm like, "This wasn't out of disrespect. I was doing it more in an honor." He goes, "Yeah, I know." He goes, "You even told me you were going to do it in the first."
Oh, they were just ribbing you, man.
And so afterwards, we got a picture together, with the MVP trophy. He held it up here like a cell phone. I held it up like a cell phone. So I got 2 pictures of that. He gave me his number, his personal number, and we've texted, actually a lot since that game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And has he given you any good advice on the recruiting process, or was he just giving you advice about life and just checking up on you and stuff like that?
He's given me once I told him that I signed with Frostburg, he said he was very excited. He gives me the life lessons. He gives me, the workouts, work every day. He just gives me, the path to the highest level that you can go to. And he does that for me as well. And, even with his son getting drafted to the Panthers. And we talked about that. I think we talked on the phone for at least 30 minutes about his son and, just, how he's been and everything right before, the draft happened this year. And I told him, I said, I don't really like the Panthers because that is my high school's, that is our arch rival's mascot is the Panthers. I said, I don't like the Panthers. I said, they got the same colors too. But I said, we've made a bond. And I said, you know what? High school's over with. Because I said, I'm a Bobcat now. I said, a Bobcat's closer to a Panther than it is a Bulldog. So I guess I'm a Carolina Panther fan for right now. So he goes, well, I respect that. He goes, I said, when I do make it and your son is playing against me and I throw a touchdown, I said, man, don't get mad at me if I do cell phone games. And,
hey, I love that, man. I love that moxie. I love it. That's what quarterbacks need. Quarterbacks need that. Like, they need that moxie and they need that confidence and stuff like that. And you have that, man.
Yeah.
So I can assume that your experience at the All-American game, the weekend and stuff was great. So I'm gonna ask another question. The players.
Sounds like me lifelong friends.
I was getting into that. The players and stuff like that. How did you have any bonds with players? I know you had Evan, and I know you had Dillon because they're all from the same area. But are there any other players that you made bonds with that while you were there?
Yeah. Tay. It was Tay.
Mm-hmm.
It was Garrett Lee.
Mm-hmm.
That was the guy that caught the touchdown pass, and then it was our running back number 16, Gage Dutton.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also a kid named Marcus there. It was the other running back that he didn't get to play as much because he got a little injured, I think, in practice one time. Mm-hmm. And those four right there were like the best bonds that I think I made.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Gage and Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
They helped because on the offense I came from, we never ran that spread and that pro style offense. I've always ran a power T, which and then, even afterwards, we talked after practice a little bit. And he goes, well, I'll help you here and I'll help you here, and until you get to the hang of it, I'm like, well, if you help me here and there, I said by game time, on Saturday, be ready on Monday. I'm like, just give me, some heads up and give me some, tips here and there. And I said, I'll get it by Monday. I'm like, you won't have to help me on Monday. I was like, just give me some tips and stuff and I'll be ready. And they helped out, and that's what I thought. That's what I felt like they wanted to win so bad that they tried to become my brother and, teach me stuff that, I've never played in before. And they helped me become the player that I was that particular day as well, just because they helped from day one. And Tay, like I said, he's quick.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he had some good speed on him, man.
Yeah, he like I said, he told me. He said, you got moves, you got the speed, and you got arm. He goes, you got moves, too. He goes, I've never seen a white kid have moves like that. And I was like, I was starting to think to myself, I'm like, oh, gosh. I'm like, what do I say now? He goes, you know what? You're not Dalton Griffith anymore. He goes, your new nickname is White Chocolate. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, and then
that's a high compliment.
You don't know how big of a compliment that actually is, man. That's a huge compliment.
And then I think just that bond between those four names I just had even with even the other teammates that I had we had that bond. It was just those guys helped me get up to the highest potential for game day, and I think that's we have a different bond than everyone else because you can't get to know everyone else in 3 to 4 days. It's hard, but those particular guys helped me, especially Garrett. I mean, he caught my touchdown pass. I gotta like him.
Yeah.
Did you so I know Coach Creek. Do you have any question? You have a question for Dalton?
Well, I'm just gonna piggyback in because the internet wouldn't let me be great, so I'm behind. So I don't want to ask other anything that you guys may have went over already. But I so stop me if I'm wrong. But Dalton, the one thing I want to say is congratulations on all the success and all the things that you've been doing. You seem to have a fantastic personality, so I would love to see you go far. You got that Peyton Manning effect. I could see you in commercials and stuff like that. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you got that personality. You're a personable guy, and I think that players will take to you. At Frostburg, and you have that a welcoming presence. You seem to have that ability to bring people together, and I think you're going to do great things, and I look forward to watching you. For sure.
Thank you.
So this going on some stuff like that. Let's talk about because I know you're a client of Coach Dwayne Clark's. How do you think the Dream Scout Network has helped you? Has it how has it benefited you? In your recruiting process and getting you to where you're going right now. And how was Coach Clark instrumental in getting you where you are right now?
Well, before you answer, Dalton, Luray, Virginia, right? That's where you're from?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not familiar with that area. Is that considered a small town, or is it considered to not be well known? Or your school, or
we have, what was it? I think it was not quite 5,000 people in our town.
Okay.
We're known for. Have you ever heard the Luray Caverns?
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly where it is. I live 10 minutes away from that. So we're not known for football and football players or athletes and all this and that. We're known for going in and looking at rocks. That's what the Luray Caverns. So hopefully that's what I'm trying to put it further than math. So, there's athletes in the small towns just like just like us.
Right. So that's a perfect segue into Coach Ann's question about how
So getting back to that question, has Coach Dwayne how has he and Dream Scout Network helped you in your process?
Coach Dwayne, he's helped a tremendous amount. I appreciate him for what he's done. I had some offers when before I joined, and then when I joined and took it on with him, I had a ton much more, and he was an outstanding a life lesson guy as well. It wasn't just about football. It was about life and everything. And that's, you don't expect that from, a recruiter or something like that, but that's what he did. And he also, came from a small school because he came from Clark County High School, which we beat them terribly. Just to let them know. I don't even remember score. I think it was 49-14 or something, but yes, he's a tremendous guy. I couldn't thank him enough. He's a big part in what happened and where am at right now.
He's laughing right now. He on the comments. He's laughing right now. So
I don't know if he was there. Now he knows he was at one of the basketball games. He knows I'm not very good at basketball, but I got that win over his homeschool town, so that's all I'm worried about. So the dream, with Laney and Coach Riley and all those guys over there, I think that is a rising company and a place that is going to be in the next couple of years. I think it's going to be very high. It's going to be, it's going to be right up there. I mean, heck, I even seen where next year they're playing at AT&T Stadium. So that's a big upgrade.
Hey, you will always have the distinction of being the first MVP ever of the Dream All-American Bowl. So when it gets as big as the other games, you will be able to carry that distinction for the rest of your life that you were the first MVP of the All-American Bowl, which is huge.
You think they let me? You think they let me take the trophy over there and stand on that star this year and do like a Terrell Owens celebration since I did all those celebrations?
I don't know. Maybe, man. maybe you got to get in touch with Coach Riley, and I'll put in a good word and see what I can do. See if I can get you out there.
We'll have to run him out there, introduce him into the middle of the star. Introducing Dalton, the first ever MVP, Dalton White Chocolate Griffith.
MVP of the 2021 Dream All-American Bowl, which is awesome, man. Which is awesome, So, let's talk a little bit about Frostburg State, because I know you're excited to get up there. I know you're excited to go there. Just tell me about your experience, with them, and just your goals, and just. Talk a little bit about, what's going to happen in the next, 4 to 5 years.
Actually, Coach Fitzgerald, Dillon Fitzgerald, he's actually from Virginia. He played at Nelson County a couple years back. Well, not a couple years. He's a little bit older than a couple, but don't let him know I said that. But he played at Nelson County, which, Leray played, I think about 5 or 6 years ago. Leray played him. And so he's a Virginia native, as well as me. He went to Potomac State and played, and then he went to JMU and played as well. And he ended up here. And I think my high school coach went to a coach's clinic, and Coach Fitzgerald was there. And, Coach Nolan Jeffries said something to Fitzgerald and sent him the video, and Fitzgerald, I guess, liked what he's seen, and he contacted me and wanted me to come to a few camps here and there and check my talents out in person. And I went there, and they really liked it. I think that Frostburg is a home away from home. It's not too small, and it's not too big. It's right outside, 30 minutes past Cumberland, Maryland. So it's near a city and all this and that, and it's near West Virginia University and stuff like that. I love all the coaches, the way they act. It's like it reminds me of going down there to the Dream All-American Bowl. It reminds me that's how the team reminds me of. That's how the coaches remind me of. It's just upbeat, 100% football, 100% of the time, and they help you with life lessons. Everything. It just reminds me. It's like putting 2 and 2 together and getting the same result out of it. So I think that Frostburg's coaching staff is amazing. Coach Fitzgerald, he's like a father away from home. The way he coaches, I think, is amazing. Then you got the offensive coordinator, Coach McDonald. He's a jokester sometimes. He always making fun of me. I don't know why.
Must like
never done nothing to
well, those if they're making fun of you, they like you. They like you.
I guess that you could call that. Now, if you say that to him, he'll probably say, "No, I don't like him at all. I don't like him at all."
That's when they like you.
I got a feeling if I go up there and start, winning football games, and we'll start when he'll start liking me a little bit, even if he does say that.
So are you expected to come in there and compete as a freshman, or do they want you to learn?
Coach Fitzgerald told me he did say that your first year up here, you're going to have a chance to compete for the starting position. So
great.
All I got to do is, keep working, do this off-season workouts, footwork, everything, arm slot, throwing it through a tire, whatever you got to do. And
footwork's important.
Get up there and just do my thing. And I think if I do that, I think I'll be perfectly fine.
Hey man, I'm looking to see you out there and stuff like that because I'm looking to get down to Virginia, go to some Frostburg State games and see my boy White Chocolate out there. They're in the needle. You know that name's gonna stick with you now. Every time I see you, I'm like, that's my boy White Chocolate out there throwing lasers through between linebackers.
Hey, Dalton, if Coach Hand hasn't asked you already, what motivates you? What drives you to be great, to be MVP status?
Really, it's one, it's for myself because I've had the dream to do big things since I was 4 years old, since I started playing.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched NFL draft every single year, just thinking what it would feel like to be called. Or, even go undrafted. But also, for my family as well, they've put all the work into me. They've put, all their faith into me. They've never give up on me. And then also, the hometown, my town, I got to do for the community. There's a lot of people behind me.
Put on for your city.
There's a lot of people behind me, and there's a lot of people that do say a lot of stuff that I don't hear that are good things. And then on the other behalf of that, there are some people that say bad things, and I'm going to do it for them too, just to prove them wrong.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
So I got the good status, but I'm doing it for myself, my family, my community, and then I'm going to do it for the people that doubted you and everything else. So it's really something that I do want to do, but that's just the stuff that motivates and pushes you harder. When you don't think you can go.
So how far is Luray from Frostburg?
2.5 hours.
So okay, so that's not too bad because I can tell your mom is your biggest fan, so I'm pretty sure she'll be there checking you out.
Yeah.
I can tell she's an incredible lady, and you got an important, a huge support system there. So I know she'll be watching. So on Saturdays.
I'm just excited to see you on your journey because you're halfway you're halfway to where you want to be at. And I think that, like I said before earlier, I said Frostburg State is going to get a really good human being. We always want to talk about athletes, but they're going to get a very good human being, and that's where it starts at first. Because even before you're a quarterback, you got to get the respect. And the respect and the love of your guys that are in the huddle with you, and you got that kind of quarterback. Like I said, moxie. It's just like you fuck the type of guy. If I'm in a huddle with you and we're down by a couple of points, and it's almost like you be the guy to say a joke in the huddle and calm everybody down, and then we go and score and win. We go and score and win.
Got that swagger for sure.
I heard that. Earlier in the interview when you told the guy just run in the middle, I'm gonna get it there. Trust me, don't worry about it. That's that you can't teach that. You can't teach that. Either you have that or you don't. And you have that, and I think that's gonna take you a long way, my man. That's gonna, you're gonna do some big things, and you never know. Maybe I will hear you in the NFL draft, and if you do get there, I want some tickets. I want some tickets to Frostburg State too. I want some tickets there too because I want to go to some games down there too. So when I call on you, I expect to have some tickets. Or else I'm gonna come down there myself. I'm gonna come down to Luray myself. I'm gonna talk to Tanya. I'm gonna be like Dalton. White chocolate did not get me any tickets. I'm gonna be upset.
Hey, I just want to have you back on the show. You know, I mean, listen, you got all the tools and the mechanics to make it. So we'll be pushing for you, man. You know, you got the size, and as Tay said, you got the moves. So
shout out to Tay, man. You know who you are out there, man. We it was a good experience for all of us down there. Like I said, I didn't even play or anything like that, and it was just a great experience. And just hoping to pass it off to the next, pass it on to the next guy. The guys that are on your team right now, the young guys that may be watching, or that maybe hearing about you. You can tell them about your experience you had down there and how it helped you, on your path and stuff like that. To getting where you're at. Now, real quick, just want to ask, with Dillon, did you have a friendly rivalry with Dillon Bailey? Did you have a friendly rivalry with him?
No. We talk. We've heard of each other. On the TV in here. From WSV and stuff like that, and we've talked here and there, and comment on each other's posts and stuff. But when we got down there, we kind of made a bond between each other, and we've really kind of talked since then. And really, I didn't tell him, but if he threw a touchdown, I was dang sure coming back to throw another touchdown. I was gonna beat him either. if he didn't know it or not, I was gonna come back and beat him. I was gonna try to do something better than him. And he might have threw one more touchdown than me, but I threw a touchdown and ran for one. And I done Joe Horn's celebration, and I got the win. my team got the win, so that one touchdown, I would give up that one touchdown for the win any day. So,
he counted the celebration up in there too. I got to laugh at that. That's funny to me. So he's going to be playing over at Emory and Henry, which is another good school. Shout out to him too. So. Like I said, the Virginia boys were balling down there. You, Dillon, Evan was balling, and then they had Brandon Wiley out of West Virginia. That was balling down there too, man.
Yeah.
Them Virginia area kids was getting it in down there, man.
Yeah.
That Brandon kid, he was quick too. That first play.
Play,
I'm like, well, Joe Horn's got something for us now. Yeah, he threw it deep. Was Kyle Holiday being as quick as he is, and Kyle Holiday is also another quarterback that he's quick. He reminds me of Kyler Murray so much.
Yeah, he looks like him and everything.
I know. I wasn't gonna say nothing because if he's watching this, I don't want to get mad. But that was a Kyler Murray 2.0 right there.
Yeah.
But, he's like a bunny. He's quick, changing direction, spin around, do whatever. It's hard. He's hard to tackle. I wasn't out there tackling him. But I could tell that they were having trouble because he's quick and he's a real good football player and athlete, and I think he'll go as far as well as anybody else has a chance to.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle Holiday. Shout out to Coach Sean Holiday, his father. We had him on about a week or two ago, and he was talking about, Kai and his journey. Like I said, man, I met a lot of really good kids down there, man. You guys were like great kids. Your families were fantastic. It was just great meeting all of you guys and, seeing how football mad the families were and seeing how supportive they were of their kids. You got people driving from Idaho, saying literally from Idaho. Shout out to Tony Cade coming all the way up from Idaho to bring their kids to play in this game and stuff like that. So, we had some Texas guys out there too. We had a lot of people, coming to Alabama, to play in this game and, just be together and show off their talent and, just be all-stars. And you guys all played like all-stars, man. Like the all-stars you were, man. And you gave me a great interview after the before and after the game. So
yeah. You got Dillon Bailey before too, and that jersey presentation after me, and he came over there. I'm like, well, I might as well just let him get in here too. Kill two birds with one stone.
Let him get some shine.
Well, I gave my team gave him an L, so I got to give him some kind of sunshine.
Man, you are competitive to the end, man. To the end.
I mean, he played wonderful. He played wonderful. I'm just saying, I got the dub, and he took the L. I mean,
So, in your honest opinion, if you were a parent and stuff like that, would you recommend Dream Scouting Network and Recruit Nation to families?
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure, 100%. I'll be behind it more than anything that I've taken on with me and my parents. Try to take on before this. Dream is the top one. I don't think nothing can beat it. And like I said, I think it's a rising company and a rising place to be one of the greatest out there. So that's 100% behind it.
We appreciate that, Dalton. We appreciate that. We try our best.
Hey, man, like I said, we're out here working for the kids. We're out here giving opportunities to kids who need them, and to kids who just want to, just up their profiles a bit. And who come from small towns like Rivalry, Virginia. Now since Dalton Griffith is the inaugural All-American, that would be the first thing on his Wikipedia page when he makes it to the league. He can always have that on there. And like I said, in your Wikipedia page, I want white chocolate as your middle name in the bio.
Okay. Right.
I want it in the bio. After your middle name, I want that in the bio.
Okay, I'll make sure that. I'll make sure it has the slash and the quotation marks, white chocolate.
No, but other than that, though, man, Coach Creek, do you have any questions for Dalton?
No, I mean, like I said, I just asked, what motivates him, and what we. I already asked him that, and I told him, my wishes for him, so I'm all good with him.
Okay, and then on top of that, Dalton, do you have anybody that you want to shout out? Before we get off?
Frostburg State, my parents, Rivalry High School, Coach Dillon, Fitzgerald, Coach Clark, Coach Laney, Coach Riley, y'all, the whole Dream Network, everybody, just everyone that's helped me get to the point that I am now. That's it. I mean, and then hopefully shout out to Joe Horn. Let me take a celebration for a day. I hope he's watching this. If not, then we're gonna have to send it to him and make him watch it. But because my team give him an L and I'm doing a celebration, but only in honor though. Only in honor. Trust me, it was no disrespect at all. But
I'll let him. You know what? I'll let him know at the regionals when I see him that Dalton, he just stole your celebration and he stole it out of honor. And some stuff.
He knows.
He knows, but he knows what kind of jokester you are, and what kind of person you are, man. And like, you've proven yourself to be just a great human being with a lot of potential, and we're extremely proud of you. At DSN and Recruit Nation, and we're just hoping for your continued success.
Thank you.
So yeah. Dalton, was great speaking with you today and stuff Great having you on. We can't wait. Mind you, I want my tickets. Go into Frostburg State. Please work as hard as you can. Good luck. I'm hoping that you can get on and play early and stuff like that. If not, I'm just hoping that you can, learn the offense, take it in, become a good teammate. And then when you get your chance, you take advantage of it, and you know what I'm saying, and you just go to the moon, man.
Continue to work hard. Put Lou Ray on the map.
Yes,
you're already a star. You're already a star, so you got to shoot for the moon, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So with that being said, we're out for today. With that being said, Dalton, stay on with us, please, afterwards. So as I always say, Bring your name, build your game. Coach Creek.
Outwork everyone.
And Dalton, it's no hard feelings, Joe Horn. He only stole it for a day. Take it easy, everybody. We'll see you later. Dalton, stay on with us.